Most mechanic shops, the shop I work in, you have your main toolbox to one area of the shop and some sort of service cart you bring around to each vehicle or each job that you're working on. Now, whether you're flat rate or paid hourly or whatever your pay scale is, getting a job done in a timely manner usually means more money in your pocket. Whether you're billing more hours on the vehicle as flat rate or even getting a job done quicker, working hourly, and getting a raise because you get the job done fast, quick, and right the first time. With my particular job, I work in a shop, I work at different sites, as well as I do service calls when things break down on the road. So instead of having just a one tool cart for the shop, I decided to use a bunch of Packout stuff to make a custom one that I can break down depending on where I have to go for the job. So I rounded up some Packout stuff I thought would be useful just to lock together like they're designed. I also got some stuff off of Amazon that I thought could be beneficial to the build. And I also have some modification to existing Packout accessories that I figure would help make the job a little bit easier and give it that custom touch that not every cart has. Well, let's get building. So for the base, I decided to start with a Milwaukee Packout dolly and add one of the 2-drawer Packouts. And I'll add a 3-drawer unit. On top of that, I'm going to use one of the toolboxes that came with my initial 3-piece Packout with an opening lid, and make sure you've got the rails. Find out what accessories we have bolt on those after. What I like about this one is when you open it, everything's wide open. If you want to put dividers in, you can, but you've got the full real estate to work with. And then to top all that off, I'm going to add the Packout customizable worktop, which brings it up to a comfortable height. Now that our base unit is done, we can start adding some Packout accessories, some Amazon accessories, as well as adding some modifications to make it even more versatile. Next, I'm going to add some of Milwaukee's new accessories for the side rails, which include the toolbox compact plate, a holder for my M12 batteries, as well as my M18 batteries. So I'll place those accessories between both sides. And at this point, placement is 100% final, because I'm sure as we go, we're going to make a little bit of changes here and there. So I'll put the first plate, figure I'll put it right about in the middle. That way we can just loosen it off and adjust it up and down as we see fit. And at this point, I'm not going to tighten the accessories down 100%. Just make adjustment down the road a little bit easier. And once we get everything finalized, we can cinch everything down nice and securely. And my M18 battery holder, I'll put down near the bottom. Now, one thing you're going to have to watch out for if you decide to mount your battery holders down at the bottom using the Packout dolly is you want to keep the holders a little bit higher up, because once you put the battery holder on, it will make contact with the dolly. So, braid it up just over an inch. And now on the right side, we'll do the same thing, but we'll use the M12 attachments. Just like the M18s, we went about an inch up off the rail. And the base of the Packout battery holder is touching the dolly. Next, on the top box on these side rails, I'm going to add a couple accessories I got off of Amazon from a company called Bpopo. They include a folding tray and a folding Packout mounting plate. This attachment is now on. Now, it is very critical for that you follow the instructions. I learned the hard way. Especially if you get the Packout work surface on top, you're going to run into a little bit of a clearance issue when you have your small or a little bit deeper organizer on this. So you follow the instructions and make sure that you use the furthest hole, bring it forward as far as you can, as well as this one here. That will make sure you have just enough clearance here. And when you put the screw and the nut on, make sure you follow the instructions on that as well. Is go up from the bottom with the screw. The head of the screw has a thinner head, which if you put the nut on the bottom, you're going to run into problems when you go to lower it. This slide will hit the nut and it won't go down all the way. But just like everybody says, if you follow the instructions, you won't have a problem. But still, when you lift it up, clicks into place with the work top on. Just a little bit of clearance issue, but it won't stop everything from closing. Just a little bit of interference there. So if it really bothers you enough, you can trim down your work surface, or even maybe get a heat gun, heat it up, push it in. That way you don't have to cut it. The other accessory I got from Bpopo was the folding table tray for the Milwaukee Packout. Now, I'm going to follow the instructions exactly to the T, so that way I don't run into the same problem I ran into with the organizer tray. I got the table tray mounted up, just like the other one. Lifts up, clicks into place, and to lower it, front and back, and push it down. Now what sold me on this particular tray is this factor. It's magnetic. So as you're working, you can stick your nuts and bolts on there, and when you fold it down, you don't have to worry about them all falling off. If you want to pick up one of these for yourself, or you just need some more information, I'll leave a link to these in the description of this video. Throughout this build, I'm sure you've noticed this tilt bin organizer sitting on the floor. Maybe we'd be wondering, how am I going to fit that on there? Doesn't make sense to have it on top, because if you lift up the drawers, everything's going to fall out. So I came up with a way to mount the tilt bin organizer on the back of the Packouts, using parts that Packout already makes. All it took is one little modification. I did a video on this previously. I'll leave a link to that video in the description if you want all the details. Basically, you just use the Packout tool attachment mounts. You put a riv nut attachment in it, and you mount one of these on the back of the Packout. Then I can take my mounting plate, utilize these 4 holes, which are on the inside part, and if my eyeballs are right, I can mount them very close to the middle of these brackets. Then you can mount it back onto your toolbox, snug it down, put the base plate on, and start a bolt, and then you can move to that side. And then down to the bottom, wherever they line up, you can move them back and forth. Just make sure you do one at a time. Take your time, that way nice and square, and everything's going to sit nice and level. Just like so. Now the rest is basically up to your imagination and whatever Packout accessories you have. You can hang a roll of paper towel on there, lock it in, any of the other accessories, or even you get some aftermarket stuff. Or this coffee cup holder from Stealtmounts. That fits right in the tilt bin organizer. Or I notice these grippity magnetic trays fit right in there. Get them in green, or even the same color as the Packout. Basically, the limit is your imagination. It just shows how versatile this system is. Whether it's Packout accessories, aftermarket accessories, or even spend a little time on your own. Take a Packout accessory and make it work to the application you need. Now the next step for me is I'm going to break this thing down. I'm going to take it into the shop, load it up with tools, equipment, supplies. Keep a lookout in the future. Once I get everything loaded up and fine-tuned, I'm going to give a toolbox tour of this setup. Well, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button, notification bell in the bottom right hand corner. That way you get notified when we get new videos coming up. Well, that's it for tonight, everybody. Have a good night and keep wrenching.